The commercial determinants of health manifest in 7 different ways, and it's helpful to look at each of them one by one to show how varied the tactics are and what we can do moving forward to try and combat the harms. Starting with political, there is overwhelming agreement that national policies, such as increasing taxation and upping the price of unhealthy products, can control the consumption of a particular item, such as tobacco. However, internal industry documents demonstrate that tobacco companies knew that these were an effective way to decrease consumption, yet continued to lobby against price increases. On some occasions, the industry will try to conceal their identity and agenda by financially assisting other groups to advance their case. For instance, the Smokers' Rights Association, frequently supported by the tobacco industry, have served as front groups in opposition to the indoor smoking ban. Linked to these are scientific tactics. Health harming industries selectively fund research, withhold findings, and generate doubt about evidence. For instance, they often encourage the public and policymakers to question whether health evidence is accurate and reliable, and what should be accepted as either knowledge or fact. For example, in the world of smoking and tobacco use, tens of thousands of internal industry documents released through litigation reveal that the industry knew for decades that its products cause cancer and were highly addictive, yet it refused to acknowledge this publicly. Thirdly, marketing is widespread and includes targeted ads on social media platforms, alongside advertisements in physical spaces, such as bus shelters and billboards. Companies often use aggressive marketing strategies to promote unhealthy products like sugary drinks, fast food, and tobacco. These advertisements are pervasive and can influence consumer behavior, especially among children and adolescents. They are also disproportionate, with 82% of outdoor advertising in the poorest half of England and Wales, and 92% of outdoor advertising in the most polluted half of England and Wales. The nature of marketing needs to be explored, with social responsibility messaging often acting as a ploy and to give the impression that the industry is trying to protect health and well-being. Examples include the gambling industry, which funds several organisations, and they communicate messaging and campaigns such as Safer Gambling Week around the individual playing with greater levels of awareness and responsibility. Supply chain and waste tactics are used to push responsibility for harms caused during production or costs of dealing with waste away from the industry. This often means that the public pays for the costs both in terms of lives harmed and in money paid out to clean up waste. There is credible research which shows that the production of tobacco causes pollution, soil degradation, and deforestation. These processes occur from sourcing the natural ingredient all the way through to transporting the product to shops for selling. However, the British American tobacco did not include supply chain emissions in company targets to reduce emissions, giving the impression that they are more environmentally friendly than they really are, and thus preventing sanctions. Labour and employment tactics include prioritising profits over the well-being and rights of workers. Examples are outsourcing responsibility for the most costly aspects of production, leading to harmful practices such as modern slavery and informal or zero-hour contracts that offer no stability or security of income. When it comes to financial strategies, there is the concept of the polluter pays, which means that unhealthy firms should contribute to funding treatment and other care services to treat the health concerns that manifest through their own production, creation, and distribution. For some time in the world of gambling, firms only had to contribute a voluntary levy to fund treatment, education, and prevention before a mandatory 1% levy was brought in after industry reluctance. And finally, reputational management is all about efforts to shape legitimacy and credibility, reduce risk, and enhance corporate brand image. As we have already demonstrated, corporations want to present themselves as socially responsible and part of the solution. An example of this includes funding youth programs as a tactic to influence the government and their perspective of the tobacco industry with the aim of preventing or delaying regulation of the industry. All seven of these domains operate collectively to affect the underlying drivers such as power and social norms and determinants of health. In turn, this maximizes the use of harmful products, with a business model of profit prioritized over health and society. This can lead to inequalities between groups in society based on social and economic status, a reduction in life expectancy, and people dying too young. We know much of this is preventable, but the key thing is we know we can do something to prevent and reduce harm and inequality in our communities.